yeah, I'm early today. So I'm making up for the times that I was late. I'm probably going to confuse a lot of people. They're like, nah, we'll join him later. We know it's gonna be late. And then you're seeing the pre-recorded, not pre-recorded, like the after the live has went live. I don't even know what I'm saying. Let me stop rambling. Rafael Estevam versus what's his name? Felipe Bunes. Okay, let's go. Let's first, before we get to the breakdown of the fight, let's go through what do you call him? Rafael Estevam's record. I think Estevam has performed pretty decently. In his short UFC career, I think he's been fighting pretty decent competition. He beat, what do you call him? Charles Johnson. Yeah, that's kind of impressive, to be honest. I know a lot of people like to bag on Charles Johnson, but Charles Johnson is not too bad. So this is actually a very good win, in my opinion. I mean, you're open to actually disagree, but I generally feel like this is an actually decent win. Yeah, I was saying, Joshua Van yesterday, and no one was correcting me. I was saying Joshua Van lost to Jose Johnson, and he actually lost to Charles Johnson. My bad, guys. My bad. So yeah, he beat the Charles Johnson, and Charles Johnson actually has a win. Charles Johnson has a win over, what do you call him? Um, Joshua Van via TKO in the third round. So that's kind of impressive. So for Rafael Estevam, apologies. Somehow you decided that apologies. Somehow you decided that they're going to kick me out of my stream. I don't know why YouTube likes doing this. Now it creates a space in my stream. Someone who's going to watch this later is going to see a black area that's unaccounted for. Anyway, um, Charles Johnson. Rafael Estevam has like for him to actually beat the Charles Johnson on his debut. I think that's really really impressive. And then to go on and beat Jesus Aguilera. I mean Jesus Aguilera. We're not talking about the cream of the crop in the division, but Jesus Aguilera is also pretty solid in my opinion. I think Jesus Aguilera was on a streak, if I'm not mistaken. Was he undefeated? No, but like I think he was on a streak. Let me actually verify. Yeah, Jesus Aguilera. Jesus Aguilera only lost to Tatsuro Taira in his debut, and then beat what do you call him? Shannon Ross, and then beat what do you call him? Mateus Mendonca, and then beat um, what do you call him? Stuart Nicole. And I actually thought that Stuart Nicole would actually get this one done, but obviously Stuart Nicole was still very early in his career. Alma Logoria, what up, man? Welcome to the stream, my guy. I think the Stuart Nicole win was, but in my opinion, was kind of fluky. But still, Jesus Aguilar actually got it done. So by the time Rafael Estevam actually fought Jesus Aguilar was on a three-fight win streak. So Rafael Estevam is pretty decent, actually pretty good, because in his debut he's fought two solid um, UFC fighters. I don't want to call them prospects, but he fought those two pretty solid UFC fighters, and I think that's honestly very impressive. Even with two fights in the UFC, I think that's honestly very impressive. And then let's take a look at Felipe Bunes. On the other hand, Felipe Bunes, yeah, I was actually confusing this guy with Jose Johnson. Felipe Bunes lost to um, Joshua Van. I mean, that's not too bad. Losing to Joshua Van, who's probably going to be a champion by the end of the year. and not too bad of a loss via TKO, and then submitted Jose Johnson. Um, I mean that's also pretty decent to be honest. Let me take a deeper dive and look at Jose Johnson and see. So Jose Johnson, let's see. Okay, Jose Johnson is very inconsistent in the UFC, but still, when Felipe Bunes beat him, I mean he was coming off of a loss to Asuel Mabayev. So it's hard to even say. And I'm not saying I mean Asuel Mabayev is ranked in the top 10. So I mean losing to Asuel Mabayev, but before that, he beat what's this guy's name? Um, Chad Anheliga. Yes. Then before that, Jose Johnson lost to Damon Blackshear. Damon Blackshear is such a disappointment, man. So in all honesty, I don't know. Felipe Bunes seems pretty decent to be honest. I wouldn't put him like at a too high of a pedestal, but I think Felipe Bunes seems like it's pretty decent. Let's get to the breakdown of the fight. So Rafael Estevam, as far as I can tell, is undefeated. Rightfully so. I think he's pretty solid. Estevam, I don't think either of them is going to have a reach advantage. I think Bunes is going to have a bit of a finishing advantage. Felipe Bunes has an 89, is it? No, yeah, it's a 79% finishing rate. Rafael Estevam has a 54% finishing rate, which is not too good. But yeah, I mean, having finishes outside the UFC. I mean, he has one finish in the UFC. Let me not say having finishes outside the UFC. So far, Estevam has not had a finish inside the UFC. He's had two fights to be fair to him. So as far as volume, I think Felipe Bunes is going to be better as far as volume. I think Bunes is going to be throwing a little bit more. But defensively, man, Rafael Estevam is going to be miles better, like miles better. Felipe Bunes gets hit so much that I feel like even though Rafael Estevam is not like a finisher, but the way Felipe Bunes gets hit so much, I generally could see a situation where Rafael Estevam actually lands something solid and actually finishes this fight. Um, so on the feed, I don't know, man. I'm giving the advantage to Rafael Estevam. On the ground, I think Rafael Estevam is going to be significantly better. I think he has pretty decent takedown entries and um, he's pretty much successful. He knows how to take people down. Defensively, not so great, but I mean, it's not like Bunes, or rather, I haven't seen enough from Bunes to be able to say how he's going to perform on the ground. But I'm going to take a shot in the dark, and I'm going to think that Estevam is probably going to be able to take down Bunes in this particular fight. So not extremely confident in this particular pick, but yeah, I think Rafael Estevam actually gets this one done. My subscribers and I are picking Rafael Estevam to get this one done. Let me go to the next fight. I love and appreciate all of you. Deuces.